Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Welcome to my next vlog video. So, the first vlog video, I've had something relatively kinda spontaneous and exciting happen in the last day. Normally, I don't have too many exciting things happen all at once, but oh boy. Alright, so yesterday I went to a store known as Micro Center, and so it's a computer part store, pretty much. You can buy TVs and other stuff there too, but it's mainly for computer parts. I was going there to buy some more hard drives for my server I have. Well, that trip for a couple hard drives turned into me buying parts to build a new computer, since the computer I'm currently using now was built in 2013 by me and a friend. Still the same parts in it too, like no parts have been updated in it. So, and I'm going to go through and show you the parts I picked up. The PC is already built like directly behind my chair, but I have the boxes here to share with you guys. I'll do my best to explain what something is, but hopefully you guys enjoy the video, whether you are technically savvy or not. So yeah, I'll just start with one of the core things. So this right here, this is what's known as a CPU. The version I got was an Intel i7. To get into specifics, it is the 13700K, which, from my knowledge, the little number, like you have your i3s, your i5s, your i7s, and i9s, that is an indicator for Intel, basically on kind of the power scale of the CPU. So this is a part of the i7 power scale. Now, something I recently learned to kind of compare the PC I'm using right now, it's also an i7, but it's a 4690K. So one thing I learned is that, so I believe the first number in the thing is the generation of the chip. So for instance, the one in this computer would be a 4th gen, being a 4690K. This one being 13700K means it's a 13th gen. So that's a big generation gap between the 10 years of me building my last computer, pretty much. So yeah, that's gonna be the brain of the computer. Moving on to RAM, which I believe what I have in this computer is four eight four 8 GB sticks, which makes it 32 gigabytes of RAM in this PC at I think 3200 speed of the RAM sticks. I also bought a couple packs to get 4 sticks. Now these are 16 gigabytes each, so I'm gonna have 64 gigabytes of RAM in the new PC, which in all honesty is overkill, but yeah. These are at 6,000 speed, I think is what they're rated. Or again, I'm not the most technical savvy, so I don't know fully what everything means or how to explain it, but I'm just giving you the facts that I know. These are also DDR5 sticks, which the ones I have in my current PC is DDR4. So I think that's just a kind of generational thing of technology. We're going to move on to the storage devices. So in my current PC, I have basically your standard kind of big hard drives, like physical moving hard drives. I do have a SSD for the operating system, but it's just a small one. And it's an SSD when they released like kind of in a little slim, like a slim box kind of thing setting, where the ones I put in this PC, they're more the slim sticks that are SSDs. So I got a couple of 970 Evo Plus, which is a M.2 SSD. These are at a slower read speed of 3,500 megabytes. These both are, I got two 1 terabytes. So the operating system on the new PC is on one of these. And the other one will be used for, well, just general data. I also got a 980 Pro M.2 SSD. And the read speed on this 2 terabyte is up to 7,000 megabytes. So this is a little bit faster SSD. This is what I had planned to put like all my computer games on, so they load faster, run more smoothly, that kind of thing. And as far as storage, that's what I have set up for the storage on the new PC. So this is a motherboard. This is basically the part that basically holds everything together. If if I was to compare this to a body part, it would probably be considered like the nerve system of the body. Everything you plug into here, it's gonna control everything. It's gonna make sure one information or data gets to the other where it needs to go. So, yeah. The CPU is the brain. Oh, and this is pretty much the nerve system body kind of thing. I won't go into too many details because I myself don't really know all the features on here. But um, one thing to point out though is if you ever do go into building a PC, you'll want to use a site like PC Part Picker, because that will be able to tell you parts that are compatible together, because not all CPUs are gonna fit into this specific CPU slot. Some of them have like a different layout of pins and stuff, so which is called this socket right here. It will only hold specific kind of CPU sockets. So you'll have to do a little research if you ever go into kind of looking to build a PC. But yeah, no much more to say about that. Oh, sorry about that. So this is what I'm using to cool my CPU. When you're building a PC, you, even in every CPU has a cooler to it to help cool down the temperature of the CPU, because it's one of the parts in the computer that gets super, super hot. Even back in the old days, the CPUs used to actually come with like a standard kind of fan you could hook onto the top of the cooler, or the top of the CPU. Now, they weren't the greatest cooler, they was kind of just a stock to give you something to help cool it. But so the cooler in the PC I have right now, it's called the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo, I think, which essentially is just something you clip on the top of it. There's no real big mechanic to it other than it having a couple fans on the, I don't know the part of it, but it's a big kind of a heat sink. That's what it is. I got fans blowing on a heat sink to help cool it. This is an IO cooler, so this is a different kind of cooling technology. Basically, you have this thing, you screw the fans onto it. Well, you got a couple hoses that goes to this circular thing that goes on top of the CPU. So, essentially, how it was explained to me, it works kind of like an air conditioner. The fans blow onto the, I don't know what the material is that's made out of, but it blows onto the surface right here. And that surface collects the cold air and then pumps it through one of the hoses down to the CPU cooler. And the cooler will then, it has a second hose that pumps the hot air back up into here to get recooled. And ideally, that is how this cooler works. Alright, so every PC does actually need one of these. These are called a power supply. So this one, simple enough, it's can go up to, it's a 850 watt power supply, which works well enough for what I need it for. It's actually probably more than enough for me for what I have in the PC. Power supply in this PC is actually 850 watt too. It's pretty much it's not the exact same because again 10 years ago these were probably built a little different, but I got the same brand, the same wattage. It's also a gold, so it's pretty much I bought the same kind of power supply for the new PC, pretty much, because I was a fan of what the other power supply was. And I believe this is the last part. One of the bigger things you would put in a PC. This is the graphics card. So right now it's a GeForce RTX 4070. So right now I believe this is part of the series that is most recent, which is the 40 series. To put into perspective what I have in my current PC right now is a GTX instead of not RTX, but it was a GeForce GTX 980. So it was part of the 900 series. So since then they had the 1000 series, the 2000 series, the 3000 series, and this is a part of the 40 or 4000 series. So they do have one that's like a 4060, they do have a 4080, and I believe they also have a 4090. I went with the 4070 because anything above this, you were looking to over about 1,000 to over 1,000 for a graphics card, and I couldn't bring myself to pay $1,000 for a graphics card. So I went with the happy middle of the series. Still the most current thing and much better than the graphics card I have in the current PC. So yeah, it's also, you can tell if you look back there, if you look closely, it's I don't know how well you can read it, but right above my hand, that big thing is a graphics card, pretty much. It's a big thing. And that is currently what is in my build. I've been meaning to upgrade my PC for a while, so it was just kind of a random thing I did. Kind of needed a new PC because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm running into like little problems. Nothing I can't deal with, obviously, since I'm making videos on this old PC, so it's not terrible. It still works. It still works great. But it does have its little hiccups of probably just from age of the parts and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be extremely excited when I'm able to get it actually plugged in, which will probably be either today or tomorrow. There's still some stuff I'm finishing up on this PC between transferring stuff to where I want it and stuff like that. But yeah, I wanted to share that all with you. Um, I know it's kind of a very specific kind of topic, but I hope I was able to give at least a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of extra knowledge to you guys, even if you don't use it. Thank you for listening to this, and I hope you have a good night, good day, sleep well. Just, yeah, enjoy your day. Have a great. Thanks for watching.